Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stay in Love Motivations. I'm Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and your life coach motivator. Welcome to this week's post. Now, this week we're going to be talking about your will. Now, your will is the last element of your soul. First element we discussed was your mind and how you have to overcome the battlefield within your mind. And if you guys haven't had a chance to check them out, go back and get caught up, okay? Next was your emotions. And I put those in a different order because I really believe that you have to first conquer what's going on in your mind. You really have to reprogram that. And then you have to control your emotions because all of these changes are going on within you and internally and externally. And you have to really gain control of your emotions. And finally, your will. Because your will, in my opinion, is the most important element, because your will is going to, if you use your will, it's going to empower you to keep pushing until you complete your transformation. The last phase of your will is because you're going to encounter a number of challenges. You're going to be battling within the old you and the new, better version of you. There's going to be that conflict because it's going to get quite challenging in a sense where you really have to use everything that you have garnered through overcoming the battlefield of your mind, reprogramming and rebuilding your life, and controlling your emotions by getting centered and allowing yourself to become more proactive and less reactive, and using your emotions to become more, to develop. It's going to help you develop your emotional intelligence to where you can start to allow things to start and work for you. Use it as leverage. Your emotions, you can use your emotions now as leverage because you are in control. And you're starting to see everything start to materialize, and you start to realize that things are actually happening for you, and you're starting to see things. And as you're exiting out of each phase, you'll know because you will feel it and you'll be able to see it. And there'll always be something that's going to give you a sign to let you know that you're going into another phase that you need to work on. And that's between you and Spirit. I have no idea where you are, where you're going to be, but Spirit does, and the better version of you does. So you just have to be so in tune, and you will know. My personal experience of when I was going through the willpower was actually last year, as a matter of fact. And it was a very trying time for me emotionally, because that old version of Vanessa was dying, the needy version, the one that was trying to please everyone, the one that was too sensitive and would just take things too seriously. And so interesting how this is today before my late sister's birthday that I'm recording. And the one thing that I really admired about her was that she had so much confidence within herself that when people would just misbehave towards her, she'd just laugh it off. Cozy would just laugh it off. And now I'm so grateful that I feel as if I inherited that from her, because now when someone is misbehaving, I just laugh it off. Because I'm not reacting and I'm not internalizing it. I just laugh it off, and I realize that it's them and it's not me. So thank you, Cozy, for that. But anyway, the willpower, because it's going to be what happened for me was it was very trying for me, but I kept pushing. And you know what? It's the craziest thing, you guys, because as I was going through that process, what I had built and developed through those other phases, it was like I was being guided and motivated to prepare for what was coming. I didn't know what was coming, but I knew it was going to be something better, right? So I'm also earning another degree, and I was spending a lot of time on my classes and everything, and it's hard for me to find work and very challenging. But it was two versions of me going on. The old pitiful Vanessa and the new version of Vanessa was saying, "Come on, girl, keep going. You gotta get up. You gotta motivate yourself. You got. And the wonderful thing about God is, He is for us. He put us here, and our outcome is success, and whatever that may be for you. So the whole time, God wants us to keep pushing, and He will equip us with the power. But the thing is, my loves, you have to awaken that power so that when you get to these places where it's questionable and you just don't have the strength, you will be able to use that power, that willpower, to keep pushing through to your transformation. Okay, so I was getting prepared. I was building up my materials. I was interviewing and interviewing and interviewing and interviewing and interviewing, and I took all of them because, I was like, this could be the one. This could be the one. And I kept interviewing, and I kept preparing myself, and I kept, I built, what it was, it was brought to my attention that there were some areas that required improvement. So I began to build my material resources so that I could be prepared for whatever was coming, because I don't like to be unprepared for anything. I'm a planner, right? And if it's something that I'm not sure about, I will, burn the midnight oil, as they say, and learn about it so that I can master it, so that it helps me become more valuable, increases my value. So if you're not doing anything during those dark times, then let me suggest to you that during those dark times, you invest in yourself. Don't invest in the old version of you. Invest in the new, better version of you, the one that you created back when you were in incubation, the one that you created when you were using your guided meditations and your affirmations. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am. Start investing and building and preparing, because here's the thing, my loves. If you have been doing the work through those previous phases, then your outcome can only be what your output can only be what your input is. So if you've been inputting all of this information, these tools and these meditations and these affirmations and everything to rebuild and rescope your life, then the output is going to be that. So why not invest in whatever it is that you did during those phases, right? To rebuild and reimagine who you think you are, so that the outcome is going to be that, and that's why it's such it can be a long process. It can be challenging, but let me tell you something. He that began a good work, He will perfect it. So if you make that decision, get ready for all hell to break loose in your life. Get ready for God to give you the motivation. That's what that little thing is. It's the motivation. He's going to give you that spiritual motivation to keep pushing. And then when you get to the final phase of whatever it is of your transformation, either your mind, your will, or your emotions, and it's between you and God and how those elements are going to be prioritized. But if you invest in the rebuilding and the reprogramming and the reimagining of the better version of you, if you invest in that, my loves, then a newer, better version of who you think you are will emerge. You're this close. This close. Now it starts with a decision. And next will be the determination. No, the decision, the development, and the determination. Those three. If you make a decision, then you must go under development. And then when you're complete with development, you will need the determination to keep pushing. And that's the willpower. That's the power of your will. And then you know what? When you finally exit out of that phase, it's going to be a newer, better version of you. And you're going to enter into an entirely new world filled with everything that you imagined. All the good stuff. No more nightmares. No more nightmares. Only the great things that you dreamt about. Okay? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am so grateful for this. The next few episodes, we're going to touch on a couple of things to kind of just summarize and complete this series. I'm so excited about it. I've been very busy, but I wanted to get these out to you guys because I know that they're going to be useful for you. And again, if you need any assistance, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. You can go to www.stayinlove.com. I'm on Instagram, and you can catch me the old-fashioned way on telephone or email. So any questions, just message me on Facebook. I'll be happy to answer them for you. I'll be happy to work with you to build a package specifically designed for you to help you with your soul transformation. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and your life coach motivator. Remember,